then I'll go here, right? Did I do that right? Right? We said second row, first column. Then we also have a W12, and we have a W13, don't we? W13, yeah, we do have that. Okay, so if I put these the right way, then I have this, and I have that, and I have that. Okay? Should be commas here. All right? Okay, now, if I did that right, let's put in X here. Now, I actually, in his video, he calls the whole thing X, but I only want to call one row X, because I'm only going to take one row and pass it through the network at first. Right? I'm going to put in the 4 and the 7, I'm going to pass it through, right? Okay, so I'm going to put that here, 4 and 7. Okay, now can I multiply these two? Right, let's see, did I do this right? This is a 2 by, no, I can't do it, what's wrong? 2 by 3, and this is a 2 by 1, right? So I can't do that, right? So I set it up wrong. So I think I need to switch these numbers. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I did it right. So instead of calling this W21, I want to call this W12. Okay? Instead of calling this W23, I want to call it what? W32. So this I and J, so that I will be 3. So that means what? That's which node it's going to in this layer, and this is the J is where it's coming from. So I reversed it. Okay? All right. So if I do that, then this, then I'm not going to have. Here I had the second coefficient could be 1, 2, or 3, but if I do it the other notation, then the first coefficient is going to be 1, 2, or 3, right? So it's going to be it's going to be more of a vertical. So I guess it's going to be called, well, I guess we have to do it. So let's redo it. So let's do that, and that it's going to look like, right? So it's going to be W11, W12, W21, W22, W31, W32. All right? Now can I multiply these two? So what's the size of this one? 3 by 2. And what's the size of this one? 2 by 1. So I can multiply them, right? Now, let's see what we get when we multiply them. I'll do it over here because I don't want to erase that. So what are we going to get when I multiply these two? So first of all, what's the size of the new matrix going to be? This is a 3 by 2, and this is a 2 by 1. So these match, so I can multiply them. Now the dimensions of the result are going to come from here and here. So the dimensions of the result is going to be a 3 by 1, right? Okay, so let me draw a 3 by 1. Okay. So, how do I do it? How many elements are going to have in this? This is a 3 by 1. How many elements are there going to be? Just 3, right? Right? 3 by 1 is just going to have 3 elements. 1, 2, 3. So what are they? How do I get this element? Oh, sorry, what is this element called? Let's call this something. I'll call it Z. Okay, so if this whole thing is called Z, then each part, this is called Z11, this is called Z21, right? And Z31. Right, so how am I going to get Z11? I'm going to take this times this, right? So what do I get? 4W11 plus what? 7W12. Okay, now is this useful? I hope so. Let's see. Remember we had 4 in here and 7 in there, right? What goes into here? 4 times W11 plus 7 times W. It's supposed to be, somehow I'm not getting it right. But what's supposed to happen is that when I do this multiplication, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do here. And I'm going to get in here exactly what I'm going to get here. It's not working, right? I screwed it up. But can you see what I'm trying to do? I just don't have something, there's something I didn't do right. But, and then the same thing here. When I do this one and this, and when I figure out what's in here, it's going to be what's in here. And when I figure out what's in here, it's going to be what's in here. Okay? Sorry about that. I didn't prepare well enough. But, okay? But that's the idea. You get it? So, the way this works is represented by this matrix multiplication. So this kind of weirdly defined matrix multiplication is exactly what we would want to get the results of here, here, and here. So we can represent this whole part of the network as just, what did I call that? W. W, capital W, means matrix W times matrix X. This whole stuff here is just this times this, because this times this gives me this, which is the 3 entries here, which I want. Okay? So if I just figure out what I did wrong, then this will represent the whole thing. And then what did we say we do next? Once we get these values, I erased it, once we get those values, what did we do? We use that S function, right? Remember the S function? This function? I didn't do that, right? What did we do? I took what I got in here and I put it into the S function, right? Right? I took what I got in here and I put it into the S function, right? And I took what I got in here and I put it into the S function. Remember we did that? That we will be able to write. The notation, well, I'll just say, suppose we have the function S is the S function. Okay, we'll write it like this. So that represents not only just the multiplication, but also taking each entry and passing it through the S function. It's still going to give us a 3 by 1, like this, but it's going to have already passed through the, okay. So anyway, this is the idea. So it's a little bit involved. It's not something we can do in one class. In fact, I said there are 3 classes that I'll teach next semester, which will all deal. But actually, the data mining class deals with many different algorithms, not just neural networks. But the special lecture deals with the math that we're doing here. And also the question of how, what do we mean by the derivative? Okay, so we have this. This is basically taking x as an input and changing it, multiplying it by w. So that's like a function, right? We take x and we do something to it. Anyway, we can think about the derivative here in this case as well. Now it's not clear what we mean, but it's the same thing that we meant before, derivative. Okay, so just a little introduction. So as I said, in the special lecture we cover the math, and in programming we cover Python, and in data mining we cover many different algorithms, not just neural networks. We don't go in anywhere near the detail that I'm trying to go into here on neural networks when we do data mining, because we do many different algorithms, not just neural networks. But okay, so that is just a quick introduction to the topic. So if any of you are interested, I'm happy to have anybody from this class in that any of those classes. Okay, so it's 3:38. So we have our final exam next week. I think it's at this time. It's probably in this room. I'm not sure of that actually. What? Oh, right. No, it'll be in the computer room. So it will be on the computer, and we'll have to. Well, I might give it in written form, but I don't think so. But I'm just afraid of the computer not working. Right? Sometimes it doesn't work. No, I mean sometimes the system crashes, and nobody gets it. But anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll have the computer. We'll use the lockdown browser, and I'll also have some paper tests in case the computer doesn't work. Okay? So I'm not sure which room it's in actually. It's not in this room, I guess. What? IPS 2. Oh, where is that? That's in the other building. Was that here?
D building.
I think it's the other building. Okay, you sure? IPS 2? Yeah, okay. Okay, so then I guess it's IPS 2. Okay? So, and as I told you before, the test is on comes from the homework problems, and it only includes the problems from the after the previous test that we had. Okay? Can you see your grades? Which grades? I thought you can see it. You can't see your grade on the website? Grade of what?
For the exam? I think it's an IPS.
You don't have your results?
Please check the academic. If you go to the
So when you do your homework, you can't see how many you got correct.
I think your friend just said it's in IPS 2. But
Ah.
do check the list from the academic office. They have a list of examples.
But you can see each one. But you can figure it out from that, right? Anyway, I don't know if I can see why you can't see it, and I don't know if I can. I showed it. Okay. I did? I translated it on Excel? And what? Gave it to everybody? I must be getting Alzheimer's. I don't remember doing anything like that. Okay. Anyway, I'm not sure why you can't see it. Let's see if I can fix that. You should be able to see your score. That's really odd. Well, how do I step through that class settings? See if I can change that.
IPS 2. Your friend.